I remember it was in 1957 during Toon's senior Cambridge year when Toon began to wonder what to do next.
When Brother Patrick, who was the principal of St. Joseph's School at the time, saw the students' excellent results, he fought for them to get the prestigious Colombo Plan scholarship.
Colombo Plan was one of the few scholarships that everybody dreamed about getting it.
After receiving their scholarships, the students embarked on their journey, travelling from Kuching to Singapore, on to Darwin, and finally to Sydney. There, some students remain in Sydney, while others went on to different cities in Australia.
A young person, Abdul Taib, was one of the recipients of the scholarship, and although up until then he was always thinking of studying medicine, as the time drew near for university and he got the scholarship, he said, "No, I'm going to study law because in that way I can help my country much better at the moment because it's a new nation emerging and it needed much help." We would ride the bicycle to the university through what was known as the Botanic Gardens behind the Adelaide Zoo, and we'd find our way there. He was well liked, he was friendly, and he could not do enough to help people. And he was paramount in the fact of helping to establish the Malaysian Society for Students of the Adelaide University, where they could bond together to look after their issues, their problems, help each other, associate with each other, and have somebody that they could fall back on. He stood out as a student. Not only did he present himself exceptionally well in his way he was groomed and dressed, but he was also very, very intellectually clever.
Abdul Taib was known for spending time with his professors, in particular one that frequently spoke to him about justice and fairness. This philosophy became part of him and it guided him throughout his entire career.
Now, Tun has always been a very, very religious man. The Afghans community built themselves a wonderful mosque in the Little Gilbert Street. Tiny mosque, but very, very nice. It is one of the oldest mosques, I think, in Australia and a heritage under protection. So Tun would spend all his spare time at the mosque.
Imam, we would like to help the community. We want to help the needy and make them feel welcome here in Adelaide.
The house where he stayed, the owner of the house and who was the host mother was a wonderful woman by the name of Joan Lewis.
Tun shared with me a very special incident during the month of Ramadan.
Good morning, Mrs. Lewis.
He woke up very early in the morning to prepare meals for Ramadan, and he was very surprised to find out that his Australian host family was already up and has already prepared a meal for him. Here you have an Australian Christian preparing a Ramadan meal for a Malaysian Muslim.
After Abdul Taib's graduation, he served as an associate judge to Sir Herbert Mayo.
When he finished law, he obtained the honour and the distinction of being the first person out of Australia, a student in Australia, to become an associate to a judge of the Supreme Court. All the court officials, the judges and that, also became personal friends. And it was during that time, towards the end, in 1961, if I remember correctly, that with sadness his father passed away. As a result, he came to my parents' house and my parents said, "What's the matter?" He said, "I've just got a message, my father has died." So my parents embraced him, hugged him, offered their sympathy and condolences and said, "What can we do to help you? What do you want to do?" And he said, "I'm going to speak to my judge tomorrow to ask if he will allow me to be released from my duties as his associate and return home to take up my responsibility to my family." And this is exactly what he did. And he returned home because his thoughts was always first for his family, his people and his country. I considered him as my brother and we were very close, and he was a well-loved person.
Be honest with your type. Are you sure you want to do this? Give up everything here in Adelaide. What you've been offered is not easy to come by. Perhaps only once in a lifetime.
As much as I would love to stay, my duty is to be with my family. But above all, it is to help my country grow and Sarawak to become something greater. John, I'd like you to have this. This Quran represents our brotherhood. I have nothing much to give you, but please accept this as my gratitude for the kindness that you have shown me.
Thank you, Taib. I will always treasure our friendship.
And in it, the book I still have after all these years. I've valued it, I've treasured it, and above all it says, "To John, with best wishes and remembrance of a very sincere friendship. Abdul Taib, 10/6/1961. And this, more than anything else, cemented our relationship because I knew how much this meant to him and he gave it to me. And that's one thing that I've treasured immensely.
And so, this young man from Sarawak, sensing his mission, decided to return home. His sense of duty compelled him to have courage to make the decision to serve the people. Through the years, Abdul Taib has inspired others to reach their full potential and to fulfill their aspirations. To this day, his friends remember him as a loyal, caring, and humble person.
For Tun's devotion to fostering relationship between communities and nations, I salute Tun. Thank you, Tun. A very happy, healthy, and joyous birthday to Your Excellency Tun Pehin Sri.
Tun, on behalf of my family and all your friends in Sarawak, Malaysia, and Australia, we wish you a very, very happy 85th birthday. Please stay healthy, stay strong, stay happy, and we look forward to celebrating many, many, many more happy birthdays with you, Tun.
Tun, I wish you a very, very happy 85th birthday and hope that you have many more to come. I'm quite sure that the whole of Sarawak wish you the same.
To our beloved Tuan Yang Terutama Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri, Dr. Haji Abdul Taib Mahmud. Myself and my wife, Datuk Sri Tan Sri Empiang, and my family, together with all the rakyat throughout Sarawak, would like to share with you and to wish Tuan Yang Terutama Tun at this special occasion on the 85th birthday celebration, to wish Selamat Hari Jadi Tuan Yang Terutama Tun, and we pray to Lord God Almighty to continue to bless Tuan Yang Terutama Tun and Yang Amat Berbahagia Tok Puan and family with long life, prosperity, good health.
Abdul Taib, hello from Adelaide. I'm delighted that I've been given the opportunity, as one who has loved you and respected you as a brother, and one that we've been together in our early days and our early years. It is great that you are celebrating your 85th birthday, and that I do so much want, on behalf of Christine and myself, to wish you every best wish for a sincere and happy birthday. May you enjoy good health, and may we be blessed at some time in the future to have the opportunity to again see you and meet you and embrace each other in brotherly love. God bless.